Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome to Wisdom with Adnan. This is our show where we talk about wisdom from different professionals in life. So today we'll be talking to Dr. Jameel from Bahrain regarding his journey from where he graduated, what he did, and then how he became an expert trainer and consultant in his field. So stay tuned. There's some information for you and almost for everyone, especially if you want to understand what's the journey of any professional from the hardship to where he actually becomes successful. So you will be getting to know different elements in this talk. And yes, we do need your feedback. So tell us what you want to know more about Dr. Jameel in the comments, other topics that we should cover. And yes, of course, subscribe and like the video. Thank you. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome to the show Wisdom with Adnan. All the way from Bahrain, welcome Dr. Jameel.
Welcome to you, Mr. Adnan. I'm very pleased to be here with you this evening in Riyadh.
Thank you. And we'll start with, we'll get to know more about you from you. So please share with us your educational background and then your career.
Okay, I have graduated from UK, from University of Glasgow. I have a BS in Mechanical Engineering. My master degree is again from University of Glasgow. That's in the area of maintenance engineering, and my PhD from Cardiff University, and its leadership in SME, small and medium enterprises.
Very good. So that's your MBA in leadership. Right?
That's my PhD in leadership.
PhD, okay, mashallah. So I think I missed or mixed your master's with the PhD. All right, no, that's great to know. And then you started your career in mechanical field. Where did you start working?
Yes, after graduation, I worked a little bit in the UK, and then I returned back to Bahrain. I started my career working in power stations. And the first job was in the operation side, and then I moved into the planning side. I worked for about 5 years, and then after that I moved to the training area, where I spent about 15 years in my job, and now I have about 30 years in training and consultancy in the area of human resources.
MashaAllah, very good. So since I've attended a training with you and I've seen, I've experienced the wisdom, MashaAllah. So before we get into the training, let me talk about on your work experience when you started your job. So what kind of challenge you face in your early days? So you have to go back in memory and think about what was the challenge when you started your job?
Of course, when I graduated, I didn't graduate from a technical school. I graduated from the scientific school. Hence, when I went into the engineering, the biggest challenge was with me, the technical drawing. Now, you know, I didn't have the basic, and now I'm in the university, and they treat you like somebody, he has the basic. That was a challenge. But then I was lucky enough to have my lecturer who was in the technical drawing. I spent a lot of time. And in my spare time, I used to come to the university because we used to finish around 5 o'clock. They would allow me to stay like from 6 o'clock till 10 o'clock at night, practice technical drawing. From there, I took it.
So two key things. One was the lecture that you had, so your mentor, your coach.
Yes.
The second thing was the practice. So that helped you a lot.
Yes.
Perfect. Very good. So that's basically what we recommend to people as well. If you face any challenge in life, make sure you have a mentor and you practice.
Yes, because like they say, you know, practice makes perfect. If you think you're going, I know a lot of people with the knowledge. That knowledge, if you don't put it into a skill, and that's what happened to me, without practicing, because when you do things, first it comes to your conscious mind, and then when you practice, goes into the subconscious mind. Hence, you'll be doing it like an autopilot, automatic, without realizing.
That is when it will become your skill.
Yes.
So you expertise
Yes.
in it.
Yes.
Very good, very good. So, and I know that you've been conducting training in multiple areas. Leadership is, of course, your core area.
Yes.
And one of the key backbone of the leadership itself is the communication.
Yes.
So how do you say, or what communication pillars you count or you consider, or you can tell people to make sure that is what you have to focus on to have effective communication?
All right. Normally, if you search around even with Google and now with the social media. And if you ask a lot of people, number one skills required now, and which comes right at the top, is the communication skills. Because even if you are a good leader, but you can't communicate that, you can't lead that, people want to hear your words. And now your program is words of wisdom, you know. So mainly communication is through verbal and non-verbal communication.
Right.
That's very important, because people in leadership, they like to, when you say a word, you do it, walk your talk.
Yes.
You know, very, very important. That's that's to me, communication is very, very important, but it's a practice, like any skill. Like the skill I didn't know about technical drawing. Practice it enough, then alhamdulillah, even in my exams, I managed to bring 90 out of 100, which to me was
Great.
good. Yeah.
Oh, very good, very good. Thank you. So now, tell us your journey moving from your job to being a trainer.
Right. In short, I was working as a planning engineer in Bahrain in power stations. By coincidence, a friend of mine asked me to help his sister to join one of the vocational centers, which used to come under Ministry of Labor. In that center, I met a person which I knew from Ministry of Power and Water. He's a British guy. And he is the one. Sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put people in your road. That's what I believe in. And he said, Jameel, why don't you come? You have the talent, you have this. I said, yeah, but I'm an engineer. You want me to come and be a trainer? That's totally different skills. He said, you have the knowledge. The only skill you need is how to transfer that. And from that, I got the opportunity to be trained as a trainer. And from there, I took it further. And slowly, I tried some other topics. So first, I started training people in the technical side. Then I went into the human side.
Right, mashallah, good. And for sure, the knowledge and the expertise that you gain in your PhD helped a lot in that.
Definitely, yes. Because as you aware, PhD is a lot of it reading and investigation. And not just that. Sometimes you have to present a lot of papers. So, right. I mean, like standing in the front of 200 person, and talking to them is not something easy. It's a challenging. Plus, you share knowledge because you have a lot of people from different area, from different disciplines, and we all complement each other. To me, attending conferences, presenting papers is very, very important.
Very good.
I think.
Very good. And I'll share an experience with recently I was traveling, and at the airport in South Africa, Johannesburg, as I remember, I see that there are people waiting for the flight, and about, let's say, 50 people waiting, and most of them are, we're coming from Saudi Arabia, right? So they're Asians, they're Middle Easterns, most of them, but none of them is reading a book. But when I see a couple of like Eastern or South African, they're reading books. So only 3 or 4 people are reading a book, and rest of them are not reading, but they're on their mobiles. One thing that I've been recommending people is, like, if you don't want to read book, at least listen to the summary or watch a summary of the book, which is like 40 minutes maybe.
True.
To some extent, yes, it's kind of like a, not a backup, but actually workaround. What do you suggest in this case? Like, do you, reading is yes, there is no alternative to reading, but what do you think about this approach?
I think a lot of people sometimes tell me, Jameel, from where do you get your knowledge? Yes, truly, I get it by mixing with people sometimes. But believe it or not, 90% of it is reading. And then when I read, I have a systematic way. When I read, every book I read, I have a book and a pen beside me. So I note down all the important things, and then I start embedding these things into my presentation. So right. First I read them, and I understand them, and then I practicing them. So I think without reading, very, and if you see the first ayat which came on our Prophet, Iqra.
Yes, the first word is
Iqra.
Yes, read.
Iqra, read. So without reading, you tell me, if you want to repair a machine without manual, how can you repair it? It's going to be very, very difficult. I think if you see any successful person, it's because of the reading. If you don't read, you will be left behind. A lot of people think, just because I have finished my education, I've gained everything. No, education is something and learning is another thing. Because education stops when you have a piece of paper.
Yes.
Your master, your PhD, your BS. But learning never stops.
Stops. Very good. And when you say successful people, and that's true that, if you look at the top 10 rich people, okay, so I'll say rich, not successful, rich people, the one of the best thing they recommend or they have been doing, one of their habit is reading. Now, coming back to successful and being rich, how do you define successful people?
You see, success, for example, if you ask me, Jameel, as a person, what success means to you, success means at different stages of my life, different things. When I was in the primary school, my success was to finish and go into intermediate school. My success was to finish and go into the secondary school. Now the success is I wanted to study abroad and finish. So my success is a ladder to me. Success is never stop. Sometimes in life, ladders are not meant that you go and stand on their step. Ladders are meant that you put your feet on one and the other feet on the top one, and you go. To me, success is unlimited. Those people who limit their success is because they put their barrier. Say, okay, when I get my BS, that's all what I want. So that's it. He defines success that way. I don't think success has a definition.
So it's dynamic without boundaries. So
yes.
It will change over time,
yes.
and you should not have boundaries to
yes.
success.
Yes.
True. See, these days, youngsters especially, they put success equal to or compare it highly with how much money they make or how rich they are. So yes, someone asked me in one of my podcasts, like how much rich or how much money should we make? I think again it's limitless. You can, if Allah will give you as much as opportunity to be millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, go for it. But again, you should be helping more people as well on the way.
True.
So I think the prayer that I recommend is be like Uthman Ghani, Raziyallahu Ta'ala anhu, right?
Yes.
So you make more money and you give more money. And actually with that money, maybe you'll win paradise. You never
True.
know, right?
True.
So in this case, when you talk about trainings, and then training is itself very enriching experience where you gain knowledge and you share knowledge. You provide value to people.
True.
So do you think, and that's what I've been recommending, so I want your take on it, that anyone, whoever is in their most likely mid-30s or in 30 plus, they can take training as a side hustle or maybe as a business on the side where they can, make some extra cash,
Yes.
which will help them a lot. And these days, by the way, with expenses going up and, getting crazy, extra dollars won't hurt anyone. So do you think this can be work as an extra, being a trainer? So can anyone be a trainer and can they do it?
To me, yes, everybody can be a trainer, but you have to pay the price. If you think for example, when I come and talk to people and they say, Jameel, how much is your rate? And when I put my rate, he said, yeah, but this is too expensive. I said, when I started my career as a trainer, I'll give an example, I was a Yaris, Toyota car. Then after 5 years, I become Corolla. Another 5 years, I become Camry. And another 5 years, I become Avalon. Now I am Lexus. You want to pay me Lexus? I'm not stopping you. I mean, you go to the showroom, there are people who will go and buy right, but there are people who want quality.
True.
And I all the time say to the people, I said, look, I will do your training, and if the feedback is bad, your money is free. To that much of confidence. One time I met somebody said, Jameel, I want to be like you, this. He was after the money. These days, unfortunately, the new generation, they think they have unfortunately little patience. They want everything very, very quickly. How can when you weight your body 120 kg, tomorrow you want to be 70? It cannot be. You've got to do a very hard work.
Yes.
A very hard work. Okay. If you want to go at the top of mountain and you are not fit, and that mountain is about 2 kilometers in height, how can you? So this guy said, Jameel, what you do? Oh, I can do it in 6 months. I said, fine, do it. So maybe in the exam, you come and study and maybe cheat and do this, and you get your mark. This is fine. But to bring me a heart surgeon, an experienced one, okay, who opens people's heart, hasn't got the skill.
Yes.
But go and ask, how much is his operation? That's a skill, because the higher the higher your skill is, the more people will pay. Because people are not going to pay you as a person, they pay for your skill.
True.
Very, very important. So those people who want to be trained, yes, you have to have a lot of patience. And another thing about training, if you're going to take everything, oh, this guy is attacking me, this guy is this. Training, again, it's two-way communication. You might be sitting with people who are going to have more information than you.
Yes, that's right. Sometimes you have those.
Yeah. It happens. But if I would give you an example, 25 years, my director called me and he said, Jameel, I want you with another two people. We have Ministry of Works. They have painters and they want to give them training. Now tell me, how am I going to give a painter training when he paints better than me and he's been doing this job for 30 years? And my friend, he's a civil engineer. He said, Jameel, I really don't know what to do with these people. I said, it's easy. Yes, he knows that. But have you ever been to a paint factory? How do they make the paint? How does the paint stick to the wall? So you take them out of the box. You add value to them. Maybe I cannot add value to them skill-wise, but knowledge-wise, definitely I can do that.
All right, so you enhance their overall knowledge.
Yes.
So you change their spectrum, so make it bigger.
Yeah, we took them to 4 factories. We took them to Humble factory, we took them to Berger, Jotun. I honestly can't remember the 4th one in Bahrain, And they were so happy. They went out of the training. They said, this is the best training. But imagine bringing these people, putting them in a class and say, oh, to paint you need. My friend, they can paint better than you.
Right.
But with the extra knowledge about the paint, about how the paint is being manufactured, how does it stick to the wall?
Yeah, so you have to actually think. So based on your experience, basically what you did is you try to understand their requirement without them telling you that what they should know, what they should learn. So you actually create that experience for them, which was valuable.
This is what makes you a unique trainer.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, why? Because why people will respect you? They will respect you for the way of thinking. People think a lot, when I go to the training, I sit sometimes, people read from the slide. My friend, people, they don't want the slides.
Yeah.
This is just a reference, a booklet you give to them. They want your experience. If I have this problem, how would I deal with it? They want this, you say, like myself, Jameel, you have 30 years of experience. Show me, tell me. If I have this with marketing, I have this problem with my product, I want to sell it, it's high price. What do I do? And my competitor are like this. Here where your experience will pay. Here where you're thinking out of knowledge. And of course, being experienced in training, you'll be going to different organization. Every organization you go to, it adds value to you.
Yes.
So you have different experiences.
Exactly. It's a whole different story. You meet with new people, different people.
True.
People have different psychology as well, and that adds value to you as a trainer.
And different culture as well.
Exactly.
I mean, even being a Bahraini, training Bahrainis or training people from Saudi Arabia or training Omanis or training people from Qatar, it's a different challenge.
Right.
Yeah.
And now when you say challenge, so in training field, what was the most challenging incident or an experience that you had?
Well, one time, I'm not going to mention the country or the company, okay? One time, I was asked to train 12 engineers who spend each one about 5 to 6 years in USA studying engineering. And the topic was about strategic thinking and planning. And all of them are Arabic speaking, because they are from the Gulf. Now, obviously, I prepared everything and that. And day one, when I went, I just started, good morning, salam alaikum, all these things. And I started talking English. Suddenly, all of them went up. What is this? Why are you speaking? I said, look, when I'm talking to you in English, I'm not trying to convert you to be an English person. The communication media of this is English, because you people, as in In engineering, when you go to the field, when you go to the factory, all the manuals are written in English. So if you don't understand the manual, and I said, you people spend about 6, 7 years after. That was really shocking to me. Somebody who goes out of his country and this, did not gain the language. To me, that was really
A shock, yeah.
yes.
Right. So the whole training, then you change your language to the country language,
Well,
or did you manage in English?
what I have done, I tried to pull them, and this. So I start reading the slides into Arabic, and sorry, in English, and then from time to time give them a summary in Arabic.
Oh, right, okay.
But believe it or not, I'm still remembering. I said, imagine me sending my son to the UK to study farm, and he goes there and he reads Arabic newspaper. He goes there and have Arabic friends. From where? The way we learned and we gained English, because when my father sent me to the UK, I lived with the British families. Now, for British families, you're forced to speak English because there's nobody there, You're there with them. Of course, you go to your language college, but most of them, of what time you are with them. So you've got to communicate.
Exactly. So I think I'll bring back the same concept of practicing. If you don't practice the language, you never learn. So you have to practice the language.
True. I know people who studied outside, but when they came here, they didn't develop their language.
Yes.
They didn't read books. They didn't because a lot of people think just because I get a certificate, I'm finished. No, my friend, certificate once you finish, it's a past.
Yes.
It's a past. Like your car. When you look at your car, it has a big screen. This is the future. But your certificate is the small mirror is hanged, which is the back.
The back, yeah.
Just to tell you what you have done, this. You've got to continuously develop yourself. A lot of people ask me, especially nowadays, is it better I develop myself into academical qualification or professional qualification? And I keep saying to most of the people, if you have BS, try to develop yourself more on the professional qualification.
Right.
For example, I advised somebody and I said, you can go to the area of health and safety. Now, health and safety, banking, they need you. Industry, they need, everywhere they need you. Because, yes, the product could be different,
yes,
but the health and safety is the same everywhere. So having professional qualification will add more to your academic. But believe me, these days a lot of young generation, I want BS, I want PhD. If you have BS, okay, fine. PhD, who want to employ you?
You will become overqualified.
Nobody wants you.
Exactly.
Nobody wants you.
So you need to be very practical in terms of gaining skills, because the basic, yes, you have it. Now you have to gain skills.
Yeah.
That's what organizations need.
Yeah. And my main aim, I said, you study BS, wait 5, 6, 7 years, then go to the master. Wait another then you will appreciate, because you went to it with a lot of information. There you will have knowledge and skill and experience. Whereas from BS next year you are into master, it's just knowledge and you gain nothing.
Not that much value that you can get based on experience and all.
Yes.
Very good. So that was about the challenge that you faced. But now let's talk about one of the worst challenge or the worst day in your life.
The worst day in my life, I will never forget that, is the day I was in the UK and my father passed away. And because I was with my father for 10 years, subhanallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't want to see me. I didn't go wash him, bury him, carry him. I didn't do that. So I was in the UK, and you might be thinking this is strange, but the day he passed away, I had a dream that, they are washing him on Muqtasal, And my wife was with me and I get up like this. What's wrong, Jameel? I said, I had this dream about my father. No, your father, it's okay, I know. I said, no, I must call the hospital. So my mother and the family, they were playing around. No, he can't, he this. Till unfortunately, for a week and then the whole thing finished. But till today, sometimes I say, God, why, I am the eldest son. I took care of him for 9 years and I'm not there. He must have hikmat in that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. There
You
is
know, I
equine
mean,
and everything, yeah.
that's really, if you ask me, this is one of the, because I like my father to see my success.
Yes.
Everybody of us, you know, because these people are our backbone, you know.
They're the one we are reason to be successful in life.
Yes.
So my father passed away in 2018, and to be honest, again the same thing. That day becomes the most heavy day in life, to
Yes.
your heart and to your
Yes.
brain.
Yes.
But I believe that Allah, what he told us that inshallah you'll meet your parents in Jannah. I think that is what takes away the burden. Otherwise, it's very difficult to get peace.
This is true, and a lot of time as well. You know, my training today, I was in the training. You know, two people came to me. She said, "Jameel, you have something we didn't see in other trainer." I said, "What?" Said, "You have qabul. You have a magnet. You can go to the heart straight. Don't you think you are smart? You must have something to your parents that they are up there, and up there they are sending all this barakat to you, all this rizq to you, all these good people who come to you." 30 years of the training, I have never ever in one training met bad people, to be very honest with you.
Alhamdulillah.
Every training with me, yes, it was a challenge, but then maybe the first day like this, but on the last day, everybody's friend kissing and, wishing you can stay more with them.
Alhamdulillah. So I think you overcome, because always there are people who are challenging. So let's not call them bad people, but we call them the challenging
bad.
people,
Yes,
all right?
Yeah.
Because for sure there are people who have conflict with among each of them, or maybe with the trainer themselves. But yes, as a trainer, yes, you overcome this and you convert them into your mavericks.
Yeah. Because they don't have conflict with you as a person.
Yes.
They have conflict with your information.
Yes.
Even a lot of trainers, Jameel, like this, I've done this. Look what I said. Look, when they evaluate you, they don't evaluate you as a person because they don't know you.
Yes.
But they evaluate your presentation skills, they evaluate your knowledge, they evaluate the way you treat them. That's the only thing they can evaluate. But you as a person, of course not. And remember, when you are a trainer, you are wearing a professional hat.
That's true.
You're not the person like this. And unfortunately, these days, I saw a lot of trainers are, especially when it comes to the appearance.
Yeah.
They don't wear tie, they wear jeans. To me, each profession has a cloth. When you go to the doctor, you expect the doctor is wearing his cloth. When you go to the nurse, you saw that. When you go to the police, so even us as a trainer, we should stick to them.
Dress code.
Appearance, the professional appearance, because you reflect to the others that this, and you will find even people might change because of your positive attitudes toward them.
Right. Now that's good. So now overall, when you talk about the experience, coming into the training, conducting trainings in different areas, in which I think you have conducted trainings in multiple countries in
Yes.
Arabic and English as well.
Yes.
So do you remember an incident in different country, not in Bahrain, not in Saudi Arabia, or maybe not in Gulf?
Yes.
That is that has opened your eyes, either in a positive way or negative way.
Well, honestly, it doesn't come to my mind now, but you see, because most of the training, when I started training, was done in Bahrain. So sometimes when you go to a different country to do the training, you have the same mentality, the same mindset.
Yes.
So you want to apply the same strategy there, you find that it doesn't work.
Right.
This is one. The other thing as well, this is why I have learned now, prior to any training, try to ask about your trainees. Have information about them. Like, for example, if you are doing a program in communication, are you going to give them the basic communication, intermediate communication, advanced communication? Not even, something could be even more. NLP, emotional intelligence, So if you have their background, this is important. The other thing as well is what? Now, yes, I remember one of the challenges. When you put different levels of people, when you put me managers, and then you put me normal staff, and then, you ask me to, now here is a bit different. Why? Because those managers, they probably done this in higher level, where those people, they need the basic level. Here, one of the things as a trainer, even now you are in the training, that's it. You've got to think out of the box. Here, what you would do, you would give these people, when you make them in groups, the basic, but those people who have, you would give them a challenging case studies, or a challenging questions, or a challenging situation, because you want to raise them up.
Yes.
Whereas those people, that's a very challenge, because if you get a group, all level, you're happy. But then if you get a manager,
different
and
levels,
yeah, this could be.
And it's a very smart move that you segregate the beginners and the advanced people, and advanced people give them the toughest exam.
Yes.
So that's really good one.
And of course, you do it without. You've got to look at the human side.
Right.
So those people should not feel like this, So even though they are in one room and you're doing it without them realizing.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
important, because you
Here
don't want to
where
feel them
your
embarrassed.
skill comes,
Exactly. So, Dr. Jameel, moving towards your own personal life and journey, how would you explain your relationship? May Allah bless your mother. You told me about something on Friday. So what's happening there?
Yeah. To me, after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'll tell you an incident happened. With this and everything, my son works with a contract. And every time he comes and say, "Oh, Papa, the contract," and they give 3 months, and this is unfortunate, the situation. So I have one of my friend who I worked with. He's an MP now in the parliament. So a friend of mine called me, "Jameel, this is your friend, 20 years, you are with them, you eat with them, you go." I said, no way, because I've been taught by my parents that you will never make ruku'. You will never this, only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and my parents. Never. The bread I'm eating, half for me and half for him. And with his mother. We are 3 people in the house. Alhamdulillah. And people, even sometimes, they look at me and they say, "But Jameel, you work this much, how much money you have there?" I said, "I don't have retirement." "You don't have retirement, how do you live?" Alhamdulillah. And I'm living better than those people who have a lot of money. Because of my parents. After my father passed away, even though before, when I was washing cars, anytime I get 2 dinar, 3 dinar, I go and give my mother 1 dinar, 2 dinar. Every time I give my mother a money, believe me, Mr. Adnan, 2, 3, 4 days, I get a course, and another 500, 600 dinar comes to me. Alhamdulillah. And even my wife saying, "Jameel, you don't market for yourself. I don't, people, I said, "I'm sitting at home, my qismat will come to me." So this, not because I'm smart, it's because you are taking of the. So my mother has this habit on Friday morning, normally I wake up after Fajr and I go for exercise, then I go to her, I have a breakfast with her, and I take her to our central market. Now, these days, everywhere you have shops, everywhere, but she loves the central market.
Right.
She loves to buy fish from there, that. Don't you see all this success you see, Mr. Adnan? So, I am a child when it comes to my mother.
Yes, for sure. And you'll always be a child.
Yes, and I really love when I go to her. I feel that I'm charging myself for more time to come, and I pray every night, and I make dua, and I have a box of sadaqat. Every morning in my car I have, and I put 100 fils, 1 riyal and I pray to God, please keep all the mothers in the world and keep my mother as well.
MashaAllah. That's a great thing that you said. When you pray for others, their mothers,
I
then for
also-
sure, someone is praying for your mother as well.
This is what my wife said. Say, "Jameel, you make dua for." I said, "Inshallah, all bahitin al amal, all these job seeker get inshallah job. All those are working. Inshallah, part of that for my son as well. He get a secure job.
Yes.
If you pray for the others, believe me, it's going to come back to you.
For sure.
It's going to come back to you. But you've got to believe in that. We as a human, we have a bit no patience. For this reason.
Yeah, true. And I'll just share my experience as well. For many years, I didn't have kids. So, and actually, I have some friends, they don't have kids. So I start praying for them. I mean, and
Alhamdulillah.
at the end I pray for myself. So Alhamdulillah, after some time or some years, Allah has blessed me with kids. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
And
Rabbil
till
Alamin.
date, I remember that when I used to pray for this guy and this guy and this guy, so Alhamdulillah, things happen. And then I also got to know that there are so many other people, they're praying for me.
True.
Without me knowing that they're praying
True,
for me.
true.
So subhanAllah, this is how things work out. So I think we need to just spread positivity and it will always come back.
See, my mother, she's not illiterate, She went to, we say, mahw al-ummiya, moving illiteracy. So she went to the elderly people's school.
Yeah, okay.
So she went up to the grade 9.
Oh, mashallah.
She wanted to go 10, 11, but then she has other things she couldn't, And she was our teacher. And she used to carry our bags to the school. Mothers are mothers. And by the way, don't you think my mother or your mother or any mother is different? Mothers are givers.
Yes.
They are not takers.
For sure.
She is willing to give everything in their life. And when you say, that, even at this age, sometimes she knows, for example, I don't have a seller, 20 BD, 200 riyal. I said, no, I am the one, no. She checked the money, she goes after. Mother is a mother,
Yes.
Of course, I don't take the one, or even if I take, I buy things and bring to her, because I don't want to break her heart. If you see any successful person in this world, behind him, there is a father and mother making dua. Believe me.
Yes. for
Believe
sure.
me.
For sure.
And like you said, pray for the other. In this world, I've realized there are a lot of takers and very few givers.
Right. True. See, now we are combining, there's an ethical part, there is a religious part to a person, then
True.
there's a professional part,
True.
where a scientific part, where, people are like, oh, there's nothing about, positivity or negativity, just do your job or get your work done. So how do you relate that?
In this world, everything you do is like a bank loan. You're going to get it back. And being negative, by the way, you only harm yourself. You're not going to harm the others. If you are sick, who will be in the pain? Only you. And yes, there are people who love to spread negativity, not because of, it's just because they just, when you sit to them, and even though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them a job, they have good wife, they have good children, everything, but they complain because of what? Because they look at the other people.
Yes.
One time, one of my friends, he is a very wise person. His wife said to him, "Oh, look at our home. It's small. It's this. Our hall is small." He took her to some of the people in the villages, where 6 people are sleeping in one room. He said to her, "Which they are better or I am better?" If you start looking at the top, you will only harm
Always
yourself.
complaints.
You're
Yeah.
harm. And at the end of the day, you and me, how many bread you can eat? You will eat 1, 2.
One,
More
two,
than
yes.
that, you cannot eat.
Agree. You always complain when you look at people on a higher end, but if you start looking at people on a lower end, you'll always be appreciating what you
Because
have.
it's comparing.
Yes.
And of course now these days, unfortunately, with this generation, is what is the social media. They think what's in the social media is all true. One of my wife's sisters show me, "Oh, Jameel, look at this lady, this. She's giving advice about healthy marriage, good marriage, and she's divorced 5 times."
Okay.
And I'm not saying that maybe she has no fault in this,
Yeah.
but go for a good example, no?
Yes, true. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Tib, okay, so now we will be moving towards the end of our show. So concluding this with, I think, the most challenging question that I have, all right? The challenging question is, Allah has given us the best miracle, which is Quran.
Alhamdulillah.
So now, out of Quran, which one is your best surah or best ayah?
My Quran, alhamdulillah, all very good and everything in it good, Even though we talk about, I'll talk just a little bit, even talk about time management, it is there. Because in Quran, you will find muamalat and ibadat. The way you deal with people and the way you pray for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For ibadat is everybody knows, salah, siyam, hajj, zakah, all these things, So when it comes to the time, You see people are running for salah, but then when we are with people, we don't respect time. How come we have two different
Mindset approach.
mentality?
Yeah.
You know? So even in the Quran, there's ayat in Taha, Surah Taha. فاجعل بيننا وبينك موعدا لا نخلف نحن ولا أنت مكانا سوى. So the condition for a meeting is people, place and time, and that's in Quran. So I like Quran all, but the ayat is I listen every morning to it, Payghambar Nabi Yusuf. Why? It tells us a lot. It starts إني رأيت. This is the vision.
Yes.
When somebody comes and talk about the vision, he talks about the vision in ayat. إني رأيت 11 كوكبا. 11, the 11 of brothers, his brother, because his father is Nabi Ibrahim. Okay. والشمس والقمر, the sun and the moon. The sun is father, the moon is the mother. Okay. Every lesson in that ayat have this. So I'm just going to talk about two lessons. One of the lessons, when his father, when he talked about his ru'ya, about his dream to the father, said, لا تقصص رؤياك على أخوتك.
Yes.
Don't tell your even brothers.
Yeah.
You know, we sometimes, somebody, oh, Jameel, where are you? Don't tell. Everything, what is your money? What is your this? Keep it. Don't you think people they're not going to be happy for you. They are not going to
Don't
be
expose just like people do on social media these days.
This is your personal life. This you have to be. The other thing, the other lesson in this one, when it comes to Nabi Yusuf Qamis, the shirt,
Yes.
there are lessons in it. For example, when his brother decided to kill him, and then they said, no, we're going to fill him into the well. In that well, they took his this, to go and say what? Akalahu dhib. The wolf has eaten him. Now when they took a sheep, kill it, and took blood and put it on this and took it to the father. And his father said, where is Yusuf? He said, no, Akalahu dhib, eat him. He looked at the shirt. There is no cut. How come somebody attacked somebody without tearing? So there were no cut. This is one of the things to tell us. Don't believe everything people tell you. Yes. Don't believe. Even when I was a director and I had people with me, oh, but Mr. Adnan is talking about you. What did Mr. Jameel is no good for. Okay, just a minute. You sit here because I'm going to call him here. Can you say the same words in front of him? Oh, no, you make fitna. I make fitna? No. Sorry. In that case, your words are. So we've got to be very careful. The other thing is with the king wife, Zulaykha, because he was so beautiful, she wanted him. When she wanted to attack him, راودت فتاها قد شغفها حبا. There were doors closed. She closed 7 doors, So this, when he wanted to run, she pulled him. Pulled him from where? From the back. So when they complained, oh, he attacked the lady of the palace, this. Bring the shirt. From where the cut? Is it the front? Yes, it's him. But the back, he's run away. And of course, the shirt, when his father, went to see him, بيضت عيناه. He was crying, his eyes went white. They give he said, take my shirt to my father. He put this.
Father Yaqub alayhi salam.
Yaqub alayhi salam.
Not Ibrahim. Yeah.
Sorry, Yaqub, as far as, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, true. So there are so many learnings, and that's actually what I recommend to people, that at least go and read Quran. Read it as if it's one of the book of wisdom,
Yes.
Just read as if you're reading 7 Habits of Highly Effective People or something.
True.
So at least reading a book, because that's by one of the best authors, to be honest. So
it has so many things. I mean, just sort of, if you look at Nabi Ibrahim, he was giving advice to his father.
Yes.
Azar.
Yes.
Azar. Now, if my son come to me, will I take his advice? I am your father. You, my son. Look at how, subhanallah.
Subhanallah. Yeah,
It is a lot of lessons, but A lot of people, unfortunately, when they read Quran, this is the difference. The Quran said, وَإِذَا قُرِئَ الْقُرْآنِ فَاسْتَمِعُوا لَهُ وَأَنصِتُوا. Hearing, one thing. Listening is another thing. Listening is tadabbur.
Yes.
You read every day. You read only 2-3 words. You apply it. Believe me, you will be a successful person in your life.
Of course, that will have value. That will have the feelings. That will change your life.
People these days, the problem is not with the body. The problem with the soul.
Yes, true.
You know, so if the soul is relaxed, the body is relaxed. Why? Because if the engine is okay, you know, your car is fine. But
Yes.
if the engine is not okay, of course it's not going to be, you know, the way it should
True.
be.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jameel.
It's
We
my-
appreciate that, and I think we'll have some more advanced questions depending on the questions that will come to us. We'll forward that to you for our next episode, inshallah.
It will be my pleasure. Don't you think that I am the only one? I'm sure there are a lot of people, but maybe because I am lucky, I met you, I'm sure you're going to meet a lot of people. All I'm saying, in this life, every person can be a successful person, but you need patience.
Yes.
You cannot be from grade 1 to grade 9 in one day.
Yes.
You need 9 years.
9 years.
So this is what I'm saying to everybody. Have a lot of patience and have a lot of readings. Read. Even though I am the person who does not like to read from iPad or this, I prefer to the book.
Yeah.
You know, and somebody even said, "Oh, Jameel, why? You know, this is just like drinking tea. You drink tea in a glass, which is very nice, a cup, or you drink it in a paper cup. Same thing, the
Right.
tea. So to me, you prefer to a paper cup. I prefer the glass. As long as we get the knowledge, that's the most. The end result is that both of us what we're trying to aim at.
Gain knowledge and
Exa-
understand,
ex-
and yeah,
exactly.
exactly, and grow over time.
Definitely, you will not grow without reading. I mean, look at the cars. Why you go from Yaris? Why you pay from Yaris to Corolla? Because there is addition on it.
Yes.
You add more, you get more money. You go from there, or else this has 4 tires, this has 4 tires, this has air condition, this has air condition. But there are other features, and that's what makes you a unique person. Anybody can be a trainer, but if you want to be a special trainer, take a skill and develop yourself in that skill. Don't jump from skill to skill to skill to skill to skill. You will learn nothing. And then as you master, go for the second, go for the third, and then hopefully Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open the doors for you.
Inshallah. Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr.
It's a
Jameel.
pleasure.
See you, inshallah.
Thank you. Take care.